You're trying to build an automated workflow, and you're stuck looking at the big three agentic coding platforms: Codex, Claude Code, and Google's anti-gravity. Every company claims their model is the smartest, fastest, and most capable AI ever created. It's a wall of marketing noise that makes picking the right tool feel like a guessing game. Look at this animated diagram mapping the architecture of Codex, Claude, and Gemini. This overlapping center represents about 95% of their total capability. All three platforms are built on massive neural networks trained on the exact same internet-scale data. If you ask any of them to write a simple script or summarize a document, you will arrive at the exact same destination with identical proficiency. The real differences live out here, in these glowing outer slivers. That 5% represents the bleeding edge. It is the narrow margin where each model has developed a highly specific, idiosyncratic advantage over the others. The secret to building effective workflows isn't hunting for an objectively superior model. It's identifying your project's biggest bottleneck and matching it to the platform that owns that specific 5% edge. Let's start with Claude Code. Think of this platform as the orchestrator, a system specifically optimized for managing highly complex, multi-step workflows. This image shows Claude's defining edge: systemic interpretability. Notice this expanded reasoning log on the screen. It breaks down exactly how the model evaluates a problem in real time. When you are building dense software architecture, you need to know exactly why the AI made a specific decision. Claude acts as a transparent partner, letting you audit its logic step by step to prevent hidden errors. The trade-off for all that careful reasoning is speed. Claude's execution times are noticeably slower than the competition, unless you are willing to burn through your credits to pay for a premium fast mode. It also has a distinct weak spot when it comes to aesthetics. If you ask Claude to design a modern front-end UI, or user interface, which is the visual layout a person actually interacts with on screen, the results tend to be overly minimal and flat. Claude is the mandatory choice for developers managing complex logic, who absolutely cannot afford an uninterpretable failure and require transparent oversight. Welcome to Google's anti-gravity, powered by Gemini. We call this the creative missile. As seen here, it prioritizes aesthetics, rapidly assembling polished UI elements. Where other models produce clunky, utilitarian layouts, Gemini consistently outputs sleek, modern front-end code, featuring complex details like frosted glass and smooth gradients. Look at this diagram detailing Gemini's unique multimodal capability. Multimodal means the AI processes inputs like text, audio, and images. Here, you see how Gemini natively ingests a video file, slicing it into individual data frames to extract visual context. This allows the agent to watch a YouTube tutorial on 3D modeling or web design, extract the step-by-step visual instructions, and replicate the exact workflow the way a human would. The steep trade-off here is consistency. Gemini operates as an uninterpretable system. One day it will generate flawless code, and the next day its logic output will be highly unpredictable and difficult to audit. You choose Gemini when your strict priority is cutting-edge visual design and media processing, and you are willing to tolerate daily logic variations to get it. Finally, we have OpenAI's Codex. This is the logic engine, engineered specifically for rigorous back-end architecture and absolute mathematics. Its edge emerges when you need to calculate dense mathematical models or construct complex APIs. An API is a hidden communication bridge that allows different software programs to talk to each other. This diagram illustrates Codex's test-driven autonomy. A code block enters a testing node, fails, and triggers a rewrite, creating a continuous loop of self-correction. The agent executes this loop on its own, running until it achieves a strict definition of done. However, Codex lacks the transparent partnership feel of Claude. And if you ask it to design a user interface, it tends to overcomplicate the code, resulting in clunky visual layouts. Codex is your tool of choice if you are a systems developer who needs unbreakable back-end infrastructure and values a platform that aggressively tests its own work over interface aesthetics. Let's look at this decision tree flowchart to map these platforms directly to your daily workload. Choosing your tool comes down to identifying your primary bottleneck. If your biggest hurdle is executing visual design or ingesting video files, you route that work to Gemini. If your project stalls out on database logic or API construction, you route that path to Codex. And if your bottleneck requires intense logic auditing, step-by-step transparency, and complex oversight, you select Claude Code. Maximizing a single agent workflow means you must deliberately accept a platform's known weaknesses so you can exploit its specific edge. Check out this hierarchical network graph. This represents the final option for advanced users who refuse to compromise: multi-agent orchestration. In this architecture, you use Claude as the transparent manager at the top. It delegates the front-end visual design to Gemini on the left and assigns the back-end logic testing to Codex on the right. This method extracts the exact capability advantage of every single platform and combines them into one unified full-stack application. But there is a harsh reality to this setup. You have to abandon the safety of a flat $20 a month subscription. Multi-agent orchestration requires you to pay highly variable API token costs. Tokens are the basic units of data that an AI processes, and paying for multiple models to communicate simultaneously will scale your expenses up very quickly. Ultimately, you have two paths. You can master a single agent by matching its specific strengths to your technical bottlenecks, or you can pay a massive premium to orchestrate a system